It is Saturday, and I am at yet another park. I mean, it's one that I've been to a few times, and it's slowly becoming one of my favorites. Firstly, I love how huge it is. Secondly, I love that it doesn't get too full. Can you tell that I'm just super antisocial? Hi, my name is Kamani, but if you can't pronounce it, then please call me Q. That is one of my rules. Today, I wanted to have a little bit of a casual conversation about my fears about being more visible. The reason this came about was because I actually write on Substack. I write these articles and they're life lessons based on my own personal experiences, and I share a lot about the trauma that I've been through and how I've managed to survive it, or at least how I cope with it, or how it has affected me and affected the way that I act and behave today, while simultaneously also trying to get a lesson out of all of my experiences with the hopes of just improving as a person. So the thing is, there have been a little bit more eyes on my Substack than what I've previously been experiencing, which, that should be a good thing. I should be so excited that more people are noticing my writing. But the truth is that I feel so vulnerable. Now, all these people know all this deeply personal stuff about me, and at the end of the day, it's stuff that I talk about in my real life as well. But putting yourself out there, it requires a level of bravery, because when you put something out there, you essentially allow people to judge whatever you've put out there. So the same with the videos. And this is where my fears arise. The numbers, look, there's not a lot of people here at all. But for me, and how privately I live my life, or how few people I talk to on a regular basis or interact with, knowing that 10 people saw a video of mine sharing my honest thoughts, or me sharing my true thought process about something that I see or experience as someone living in our world, it does feel a little bit like an expose. It does feel like I'm exposing myself a bit, and I was not prepared for the complex feelings that I was going to feel about that. I think one of my other fears is cancel culture. Okay, look, I only have 3 subscribers. I have nothing to cancel. But I feel like we live in a world where there is less and less tolerance for the ways that we are different. And that has kind of brought about some fear in me. I worry about sharing my perspective because it may attract or draw some criticism. I understand that that's one of the risks of sharing my opinions and my thoughts on a public platform. That is one of the side effects, one of the risks, one of the conditions. So the reason why I wanted to make this video is because I wanted to share my intent. If I do one day have a wider audience, I would like people to come back to this video and see my reason for making YouTube videos in the first place. So, what is my intent? The reason I share on YouTube is because I'm seeking a community that sees life the way I do. I mean, some of my views in certain spaces are seen as quite radical or out there, or a bit woo-woo. So it's not always easy to share how I see the world, and it's not always safe for me to share how I feel about our world, or my views about what I'm here to do on this planet. And so I wanted to do it in a way that felt a little bit more safe, and in a special way that I hope, the universe will help me reach the people who understand where I'm coming from or what I'm trying to say. I also don't believe that our society is honest enough about certain crucial aspects of life. I think that so many things are romanticized, so many things are packaged in digestible, attractive ways, and a lot of the messy stuff is concealed. And then we're made to feel like failures because not every aspect of our life is picture perfect or neat. I also have to believe in my agency. I have a message that I want to share, or things that I want to do while I'm on this planet. And yes, I might be one person, but my actions, me, little old me, my actions could help to trigger a bigger reaction. Or I could talk to someone who has way more influence than me, who could talk to other people who can do things that can actually make a change in our world. So, what is my message to the world? My message, or the most pressing matter on my heart right now, is that our world is so fractured because people have become more individualistic. And because people are more individualistic, they become more selfish. So, you care about yourself, you care about hoarding resources, and we all end up suffering. The rest of the world ends up suffering. I mean, look at the standard of living. Look at how much the wealth gap is increasing. Look at these people who get away with the most insane crimes and nothing is done about it because they've got the resource that our society tells us to value most, which is money. They've got the most capital in our capitalist world. My message is about love and kindness, and that it still matters. Those things are still valuable. I also want to reach the super duper soft and kind people who just want to make other people happy. I want you to know that your goodness, your kindness, your optimism is not in vain. When people encounter true goodness, true unconditional love and kindness, especially from a stranger, it changes people. I have felt it, I have experienced it. It changes people. It is an interaction that stays with people for a really, really long time. So I need you to keep being kind. Please don't stop. I believe that we can change the world one kind interaction at a time. In sharing my videos, in making videos about the topics that interest me, and yes, some of them are going to be controversial, I know that I'm not always going to say the right thing, but I am more than willing to educate myself in the areas where I lack. But ultimately, my hope is to encourage a kinder and more supportive society. I just want to meet people and interact with people who are like that too. And while I'm looking for this community, or creating this community, or creating a space for this community, I might not do it perfectly. Sometimes I get scared that I'm gonna get punished for the ways that I may be ignorant. The last thing that I want to do is hurt anybody. Like, that is my biggest fear. Of course, I've hurt people before, but it's not a good feeling. I'm trying to go through the world causing as little damage as possible. I'm also just a really curious person, and I'm wondering what a YouTube journey could bring me, what ways it could impact my life. I also desire healthy outlets for my creative expression, and I think I'm still trying to figure out how to do that in an honest and authentic way. And I guess that's what I want people to take away from this video, is that I am an imperfect person. As much as I preach love and kindness and I try to practice it every single day, I really, really do try, I fail. I'm gonna do things wrong, not intentionally, but just because I'm human. I don't know, if I do make mistakes, I hope that people who do follow along on my journey recognize and see my heart above all else, because I think that's my intent, is just to do things in the most loving and kind way possible, while also standing up for the things that I believe in. So if I do misstep, I hope I do find my community of softies who, yes, will educate me, but will also remember my heart and do so in a way that is productive and helpful for all of us involved. So that's all I wanted to say, is that my intent is good, I hope. My intent is to help be an agent for change in our society. And in doing that, I'm also going to grow and evolve as a person, hopefully get better, hopefully get kinder, hopefully be more educated and considerate. And in that journey, I'm gonna make mistakes, and I know I hold myself to a really high standard. I think this is why I fear the judgment of other people, is because I'm super hard on myself, you know? I'm super duper hard on myself as well, and I just want anyone who watches me or encounters me to know that my message is one of love and kindness always. That is the root of why I want to do this. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and listening. If you watched all the way to the end, I really appreciate you for taking the time to listen to what I have to say. I hope that you are also having a calm day, or at least spending it however you want to spend it, in a way that makes you happy. I guess I'll see you in the next one, whenever that is. Oh, and stay weird and take care.